And good morning. Welcome to a Monday edition of Today at the Races, presented by Fidelity First. I'm your host, Stan Salter. Keith Fustel out there by the paddock. A beautiful day today, Keith, and so that's going to be the big story today. The weather and the track conditions are hopefully perfect. Saturday we were off the turf, and let's talk about Saturday real quick. The feature, Harper's First Ride and John Jones. Harper's First Ride, a real nice 4-year-old for Claudio Gonzalez. He goes by John Jones in the stretch to win the feature. That was Victor Carrasco, I believe, aboard for the winning ride. Victor Carrasco, yeah, it was Victor for Claudio. So Claudio having a couple solid opening weekends here for the summer meet, and Harper's First Ride, a nice 4-year-old he has in the barn.
Oh, yeah, an improving sort again, and I tell you, they always say, well, pace makes the race. Well, they walked up front, and you thought John Jones, everything was going to be to his advantage. It wasn't. Harper's First Ride just kicked it in, top of the stretch, grinding move, top of the lane, and kick clear. So, yeah, sometimes you get fooled by that old saying, don't you?
Yeah, well, that was Claudio. He's tough to beat. So that was Saturday. We were off yesterday. Let's get right to it today. Nice weather today, and we're the big game in town, Keith. All eyes on us. Main track is fast. The turf looks perfect today, firm turf course. We're on the bowl game and the Exceller. Temperature right now in the mid-70s. So perfect conditions today, fast and firm. 5 of our 9 races are on the turf. Some big fields, turf and dirt today. You can bet all the action with First Bet. All right, let's show you what First Bet is offering all of our bettors. First Bet users have free access to the best features in horse racing, including seamless wagering interface, AI-enhanced algorithms to help you make smarter picks, real-time stats and probabilities, betting, live video, and replays for more than 300 tracks. When you use promo code Sport of Kings, you get a $10 credit and a $500 bonus. So bet all the action on First Bet. You can watch all the action this afternoon here at Laurel Park on our live stream. Just go to laurelpark.com and click on the live stream. All of our picks and tickets for today up there as well underneath the handicapping section. And, of course, you can watch all the action on your favorite ADW First Bet or Express Bet. Now, Preakness 145 is in October this year. First Saturday in October for Preakness 145. There it is, Saturday, October 3rd. We had a big 3-year-old stake this past Saturday out there at the great race place, Santa Anita. And, well, what do you know? The world, it's a crazy world right now, Keith. Even Bob Baffert got beat in the Santa Anita Derby. Go figure. Honor AP runs down the favorite Authentic. Honor AP comes 4 wide into the stretch with Mike Smith aboard for John Sheriff's. Same connections as Zenyatta. And Honor AP goes by Bob Baffert and Authentic. So Baffert got beat in the Santa Anita Derby. Your thoughts on that race?
Yeah, I mean, I watched that wide every step of the way. I didn't go back and check the rest of the races at Santa Anita for Saturday, but Honor AP was into the race, was close up into the far turn, just kind of measured Authentic every step, shifted out a little further wide, top of the stretch, and wore Authentic down and went clear. A little kind of an anteater action, the head dropping a little bit low. I always like those kind of race horses. Remind me of the old At the Bridge. We're going way back for that one, Stan.
Right, At the Bridge.
Remember At the Bridge?
I remember that name going way back, yep. All right, so Honor AP, a top 3-year-old to square off with Barkley Tags, 3-year-old Tiz the Law. Will he run back in the Belmont? That might be too quick back for John Sheriff, but we'll see Honor AP in some big 3-year-old stakes later on this summer, possibly the Travers, Kentucky Derby, and we hope to see him here. The Preakness 145 wraps up the Triple Crown season this year, so there could be a Triple Crown on the line when we're at Pimlico the first Saturday in October, and what a big prep that's going to be for the Breeders' Cup. So it's going to be one of the best Preaknesses ever. Looking forward to Preakness 145. Let's get right to it today. Race 1's going to kick off all the action. A little carryover for you in the opener. That Rolling Super High Five, there it is, a $1,000 carryover in Race 1. That bet features a low 15% takeout. Also, Race 1 kicks off the early Pick 5, the popular early Pick 5, which is a mandatory payout. Industry low, 12% takeout. Let's check out my ticket real quick, a $32 ticket. I'm 4 deep here in races 1 or 2. Hopefully I'm still live after the second race. Race 1, I go with the 1-2-8-9. The 1 stylish 99's 4-1 in there. And on the outside, and my top pick is the big price here in race 1. I have Hassan Al-Amri. Blew it up at 45 to 1 on opening weekend. See if Hassan can do it today with Melisande and Julio Correa. I have the 9 on top, a big price. It's a soft group here in race 1. I think it's wide open, so I go 1, 2, 8, 9, 3, 6, 8, 10 there. In the second race, I got a price in one of those picks. I single. I run out of money in race 5 again, so I single on the 7 Calamity Cat for the Hot Barn. Hugh McMahon,
Yeah.
Katie Davis will ride. This horse has a couple big wins on the turf. And I think how Hugh McMahon finds a nice spot for the Bodemeister 4-year-old. So I single 9 to 2. That's a good price there for the 7 Calamity Cat in race 5. Just one of 5 big fields we have on the turf today.
I'm telling you, Calamity Cat, I used this horse. I think might have him on top. That's a tricky little race. Maybe Old Dominion will be a shorter price than I have on the morning line based on his speed, maybe advantage over this field. But I think that's a pretty contentious group.
All right, let's see if I can get live here in race 1. Race 1, maiden claiming 25,000. Filly mares 3 and up. We're going 5.5 furlongs on the bowl game turf course rail at 17 feet. We both used the 2 here, so let's start right there with the 2 Bourbon Gal. You're 9 to 5 morning line favored for trainer Carla Morgan. She gets first-time Lasix today. Let's check out the debut last August down in Virginia at Colonial Downs. This filly by Bourbon Courage. She was 24 to 1. This is her 2-year-old year last year. In the dark down there at Colonial. We remember that, right, Keith?
Let me tell you, it's some really tough evenings trying to call Chart and Dave Rodman, trying to call the races at Colonial Downs. We deal with it. And I tell you, a Bourbon Gal outruns her odds a little bit here. A big effort at 25 to 1. Chases a quick pace, 22 and change, 45 and some change. And American Giant has turned out to be a good one. I mean, went on to win an allowance and a stakes race. Look at this horse still trying every step of the way to the wire. I think the 6th place finisher came out of there to win. That was a McGahee runner that ran, I think, a 76 and then followed up with a 76 buyer. The main question: why in for 25 right now? That's the big factor right there. We've got to deal with. 2 for 28 is Carla Morgan. The last few years, maiden special weight to maiden claiming. I believe this horse is in for the tag. Stan, you have this horse winning in for the tag?
I have her in for the 25,000.
Right?
Yep,
I'm just making sure everything's straight. But I couldn't figure that one out. That's the key. And Carla Morgan's horse, they usually don't draw a ton of play, but this one will.
Sure. I like it better when she's like 20, 30 to 1 first time.
Certainly.
Lasix, like trimmed in gray. Remember that horse a couple years ago?
With the Lasix on up the rail, right?
Right, she's turned out to be a nice horse. So, all right, so the end for the 25,000. That's a question for the 2 Bourbon Gal. Going to probably be covered up in traffic down the backstretch. I use her in my exacta. We both picked the favored second. I just go for a real long shot here. Hassan Al-Amri did it opening weekend with a 45 to 1 shot, and I've caught him before with some big prices on the turf. And I'm just hoping he's got this filly by Bodemeister in good form, and just it's first time Hassan Al-Amri. She's hadn't run since January. The works at Pimlico, nothing special, but I'm just taking a shot here. Hassan did it at a big price opening week, and I'm trying to find these long shots. I haven't found the right ones yet, but I'm going to keep trying. I'll go with the 9 Melisande here. She's going to be a monster price here in race 1.
Yeah, for our newer fans, they just kind of drifted in, and we've attracted, I hope, and we're going to keep you along the way. You see, this is the trend, Stan, with these bigger fields, the turf racing. I mean, I know the other day we were off the turf, but man, when things hold together at Laurel Park, get buckled up because you're gonna get some value. And this race could be no different. You have a questionable favorite. I think is going to take plenty of money. The 2-horse Bourbon Girl. I take a shot with the 8, first-time starter here for Dale Capuano. Dale does not run a lot of firsters on the turf. He hasn't had a ton of success. He doesn't do it often. But looking at the bottom side, this mare split was 2 for 9 lifetime. Did win on the turf. Did win on the synthetic. You go back to the second dam. Was stakes placed on the turf. So I'm wondering, just taking a shot here. Golden Lions, we haven't seen a lot of them run, but they run okay on the turf. So bound for Broadway here for me, because when he runs for maiden claiming first time out, especially in the dirt, high percentage over the last several years. So we'll take a shot with that one.
I like the pedigree notes you had. I'm not impressed by anybody really who's running this race. That's why I take a shot with a long shot. So I don't blame you for going with a first timer from a live barn. So Bound for Broadway we both use. Looks like we like the same couple horses here in the opener. The one Stylish 99 gets first time Lasix for Hammy Smith. First off the claim, Centron had a 3-win day last weekend, so he's hot now. The one going to need get a sharp break from the inside here, breaking from the one hole, and a big field 5.5 on the turf. But first time Lasix for Hammy with the one.
Well, we saw what Pretty Edgy did the other day on the dirt, off a little bit of a break for Ricky Silliman. This isn't the dirt, this is the turf, but I think this might be the surface that's going to enhance the run of Stylish 99. You look at the mare, she was 7 for 21 on the grass, made $552,000. Now, all those wins came going long. Maybe the Stylish 99, 5.5, a little too short, but I think as a user in your exactas and tries, no doubt.
All right, so nice maiden 25, 5.5 on the bowl game. We have 5 big fields on the turf today. The dirt races are big, too. Let's take a look here. Race 2, you like the early pick 4. Starts in race 2. Our multi-race wagers are going to be well played today, I think, on a Monday afternoon. Here's your ticket, very affordable, $16 play.
Yeah, just something light here on Monday. Maybe we're a little light on funds after the weekend. Something we can kick-start you and take you on to the latter part of the racing card. 3-8 will get you started 2 deep into second, third, and fourth. 3-8, 6-8, 5-8. Wrap it up with the 6, 7, 9, and 10 in race number 5. That's that race we were talking about on the turf. I think that's a spread race, no doubt. $16 for the opening pick 4.
All right, let's take a look here. Race 2, 6 furlongs, main track, claiming 5,000 filly mares 3 and up. Haven't won 3 lifetime or straight 3-year-old fillies. I go with the 6 on top here. Lady Rosina I have on top here with Avery Wisman aboard for Robbie Bales. I'm just looking for a horse that's in good recent form, going in the right direction. There might be some other more proven, more accomplished horses, but this 5-year-old mare, you can't fault her recent form. A sharp second, 2 back behind Handrail, and then came back to win the 5,000 2-life condition back on March 1st. She beat Chicken Dinner in that race. Chicken Dinner came back to win here opening weekend at Laurel Park. So I'll take a shot here with the 6, Lady Rosina and Robbie Bales. Maybe I get a decent price. She's about 4-1 morning line.
I mean, considerable jump up in the figs the last 2. Now we got a little bit of a break. Will she be able to hold that form? A good second to Handrail was set up off of a duel 2 races back. I go inside Claudio, the 3-horse, Atlantic Avenue. This looks kind of like an all-or-nothing type. This is a move he doesn't do a lot, claim and then drop in half. He does not do that a lot. He's done it only 3 times the last 3 years. 1 winner and 3 for 3 in the money. Atlantic Avenue, I mean, looking at the speed, not a slew of it in here. Maybe Sussekin to the outside will be part of the space. Well, I want to see an aggressive ride in Weston Hamilton with the mount. It seems like Claudio spreading the wealth amongst all the jockeys here at Laurel Park.
Sure, well, that's probably the best way to do it. This mare, she had a real big win last summer here against Starter Lounge 2 Life. Looked like she was going to be okay. She's kind of fallen off form since then. The big drop off the claim, been working well here at Laurel. I use her. You have to use her in the mix. I pick her third, the 10. We both like the 10 a little bit here on the outside. Suskin for trainer Ricardo D'Angelo. First start in the D'Angelo barn for this 4-year-old daughter of the Factor. Joan Rosado he's had a couple good opening weekends here at Laurel Park. This filly has some speed, should get a nice trip on the outside coming up from Gulfstream.
Yeah, I think this is a little bit of a lateral move, not really a drop. That $8,000 race was just okay. We really kind of broke it all down. Yeah, the buyer was a 68, but that field was just average, but had every chance. Tracked a contested pace, just couldn't quite fire on. But in this field, she's going to be part of the pace flow with a clean break from the outside. Handrail has to be used, was hung out very wide as the favorite in its most recent race, February the 28th, but is added a little bit more speed since moving into the Lacey Gaudette barn. I think this filly certainly works. We'll get a stalking trip, basically based on the flow in here.
All right, a big price I didn't use, but I like the connections here. McCarthy, Hammy Smith, 15-1 with the 9 Princess A Go-Go.
Yeah, another one. I'm hoping some of this speed just chases and flattens or falters in Princess A Go, though. Look at the recent work. It's very, very sharp. When you go to McCarthy, you mean business, okay? Hammy's shooting here. I think this horse can make a run from the back. Could enhance those exactas tries and supers, no doubt. Don't know if she'll get up in time, but with Trevor. I mean, you want to maybe put a couple bucks to win just to be safe.
Yep, she'll be a big price. All right, so early pick 4 action in race 2. Let's turn the page back on the turf here in the third. We're going 5.5 furlongs on the Exceller turf course. Rail at 70 feet. Nice maiden, 25,000. Filly mares 3 and up. Wide open condition here, same as the first race. Let's start with the 6, Eloquent Lady, your top pick. The trainer Cal Lynch, a 3-year-old daughter of Mr. Speaker. Alex Cintron will ride this filly. Has some early speed. She's dropping today. First time turf. You have a stat here for trainer Cal Lynch. Let's check it out.
Yeah, not a high percentage from a winning standpoint. 5 for 29, 17%, but 12 for 29 in the maidens. With this first time turf, there's what I like, a positive ROI. Eloquent Lady, a real big try back in early February for the maiden 40. Big effort on the dirt. I think this horse is going to be okay on the turf. A slight drop in class, part of the pace flow. Looking at the Mr. Speakers, looking for its first turf sprint winner. Had a couple win long, but I think Eloquent Lady's just going to be just fine here as part of the pace.
Yep, she has good form on the dirt, and she's getting a class relief today, has early speed. You have to respect her. I use her in the top 3. Now, the 2, Sorry, ran 3 nice races last year as a 4-year-old maiden, 5-year-old maiden. Now it's her 5-year-old debut for Gray Cross Stable and trainer Dove Houghton. But the 3 tries on the 3 tries on the turf against maiden special weight, all pretty good.
Yeah.
Any one of those efforts would definitely be good enough here at this $25,000 level coming off the layoff. I guess they figure she's 5. They want to get aggressive and try to win now, break the maiden. So the 2 Seesaw is in a good spot. We have a video of her debut last summer here at Laurel Park against maiden special weight. 5.5 furlongs on the turf on a good turf course this day. Now, she falls way back, and there you see on the far outside coming late the 5 horse in this race.
Yeah, you see some divots being kicked up. Once she gets out in the clear, really finishes quite well, closes a lot of ground the last 3/16 of a mile. Going to miss to Little Skiff, my sister's keeper, but all in all, a very good debut. She brings that race back. She probably beats this field. I don't know, 5-year-old, now we're getting a little bit desperate. She does not have a whole lot of speed. Will she find herself with too much to make up once they hit the top of the stretch? It's going to be a shorter price. A little bit of a value shot, the 8 Secret Archangel for Michael Trombetta. This is another one, ran okay in debut on the synthetic. No money taken really whatsoever. The next 2 dirt tries, but attracts. You know, you've got McCarthy, half-sister, 4 for 21 on the turf. That one was by Warriors Reward. I'm just taking a little shot here at a price. Trombetta can be sneaky in these kind of spots. 6, 8, 2, 4. And Eloquent Lady, another little note there, breeding note. The Lone Sib, 3 for 7 on the grass.
All right, not bad, and not many other than Story. Not many filly mares in here with the turf form. A lot of them trying the turf for the first time. My top pick, Hydra, trying the turf for the first time, has some speed, and then run a couple good races since Jerry Robb claimed this filly for $25,000 back in January. He's won a couple decent races for maiden 40 on the main track. Let's see if she can transfer that to the turf today. If she likes the turf and breaks sharp, she should get a nice forwardly placed trip with the X-Man on the outside.
Well, Santa, we've seen these Cantheros. They're okay on the grass. They hit for about 15% first time on it. Jerry Robb with a winner on the grass the other day with the Magical 1.
That's right.
Yep.
All right, so a big field there. Race 3, let's turn the page. Race 4 will kick off the 20-cent Rainbow Pick 6 today on the 9-race program. There's the carryover, a little shy of $1,500 today for the Rainbow Pick 6. Naomi Tucker, she has a ticket. She'll be on with me this afternoon. Here's her ticket, very affordable, $38.40 play. Race 4, she uses the 5 in the 8. That's who I have on top as well. She's 4 deep in race 5 with the 4, 6, 9, 10. Doesn't have the 7 Calamity Cat there in race 5. Race 6, she has the 3 and the 12. The 3 looks tough. The 9 looks tough in there as well. The 12 is going to be tough there, taking a drop. With the bug, Charlie Marquez aboard. Then race 7, the feature of the day, a nice third-level allowance, 5.5 on the Exceller. I have a 15-1 shot on top in race 7. Naomi doesn't have that horse. She has the 1 completed pass and the 11 on the outside. The 2 favorites, 1 11 Tricks to Do. Race 8, the 4-13, then she's 3 deep with the 4-8-12 there in race 9. Let's take a look here at the 4th race. Going a flat mile, main track, maiden claiming 40,000 3-year-olds and upward. I go to the 8, Welling on top. We have a video spotlight for Welling, a 4-year-old male and bred by Curlin for trainer Mike Trombetta. Here's the race from February 1st here at Laurel Park against maiden special weight, going 9 furlongs this day. One-Eyed Jack was the heavy, I believe, Todd Pletcher this day, like 1-5, right?
Yes, and Welling went right on the attack, Stan, and we remember that going into the first turn and was not going to give One-Eyed Jack a breather. Drops back a little bit past the 8th pole, but then switches over to that correct lead on the right lead and comes back to cut into the margin, only beating a neck when it's all said and done. Follows that up with a try. The number regressed a little bit, but got the one subsequently DQ'd. Unfortunately, came out, I believe, bumped the rival late. But Welling at the mile distance certainly should be able to handle that. Plenty of bottom from some of those other races. I think Welling's going to be a major factor here with the flow. Silent Malice, though, first-time gelding. They expected a lot out of this horse in the 3-year-old debut. Kind of flat. Didn't really make up a whole lot of ground behind. I wonder where Craig is and Abuelo Pass, but they've become 2 key runners, right, Stan? So
sure.
Silent Malice on the stretch out. Palace Malice about 14% with the rounders. I think this horse is going to sit a perfect trip from just off of, because you're going to have some other speed. Market Mover wants to go. I think the Scott Lake horse is fresh and shows some pretty good speed after some trouble up at Penn National. I go 5-8. I'm chalking it up in here.
All right, 5-8 for you, 8-5 for me on top. Nice maiden 40 to kick off the pick 6 and the middle pick 4 there in race 4. Let's get a quick commercial break. When we come back, late pick 5 starts in race 5 today. I have a ticket for it. We'll check it out right after this.
Charge from Loach at every bit of the inside 2, but nothing stood in his way. Laurel will win the Preakness.
Get him up, high, put him up, high. We waking up, high, high with my dogs riding high when we pull up, high, high with my dogs riding high.
All right, Sam Bucinich with Mark Cassie and War Will going to the Godolphin Flying Start program, Keith.
Oh, okay.
She wins the Preakness. Now she's going to travel the world for the next couple years for Godolphin. So congratulations to her.
Awesome.
Good stuff. All right, here we go. Race 5 kicks off the late pick 5. No carryover, but as always, that industry low, 12% takeout on all the pick 5s here at Laurel Park. I have a ticket. Let's check it out. $48 ticket. I couldn't come up with a single here on this late pick 5. I do have some prices. Race 5, I'm 4 deep here. Now the 4, Love's Legend, I think is live at 6-1. Old Dominion 4-1. Calamity Cat's my top pick at 9-2, and the 10's going to be tough here at 9-2 for Damon. Race 6, I'm 3 deep there with the 3-9-12. The 9, Dr. Rusty Raymond, I think is live at 6-1, and the 3 and the 12. Your 2 favorites. Race 7, big third level allowance feature of the day. 5.5 furlongs on the Exceller. A bunch of nice horses in there. I have the 9, Jammer, on top, coming off the layoff, making his 6-year-old debut. He had a big year last year, 4 wins last year, made over $100,000. He's a 5-time winner on the Laurel turf. He makes things exciting in the final strides.
Yes,
he comes with a late run with the X-Man. Will it be good enough today? I'll go with the 9, Jammer, on top, but the 1 completed pass. Last year's Jim McKay turf sprint winner. That horse will be tough for Claudio. And then on the outside, the 11, Tricks to Do for Arnaud Delacour. So, but I just go with the 1-9 completed pass and the 9 Jammer there in the feature. Race 8, the 2 and the 13. The 2, Hello Amigos, 6-1 for Rodney, and the 13 is going to be one of your favorites in there for Jerry O'Dwyer. Race 9, the 6, Dancer Stroll for Jerry Brooks. That horse ran a big week, a big race last weekend. And then the 8, Bustin' Hearts, Toledo and Hugh McMahon should be tough there. Race 9. Let's take a look here. Race 5, a big field, going a mile on the bowl game turf course rail at 17 feet. A nice 16,000 starter allowance. Optional claiming 16,000. We both have the 7 on top. Calamity Cat, 9-2 here for Hugh McMahon. Katie Davis rides this Bodemeister 4-year-old. A real sharp win on a firm turf course last summer at Monmouth. That was against 40,000, 76 buyer speed figure that day. The lone Laurel turf try against Starter Allowance last October had a horror show over Trip that day. You see the comment line. Just forget about that race. If Calamity Cat back and get a better trip today with Katie Davis. I think Hughes found a nice spot for this 4-year-old.
Yeah, Old Dominion looks like the speed, going to be the one to catch, given a clean break. But Calamity Cat, I think that was a video spotlight horse we used, Stan. After that maiden win, I should say that $40,000 win July 28th at Monmouth, that was a very good race. Visually, looked strong, just encountered a lot of trouble against Joe's Bullcat that day. But I tell you, Hugh McMahon, plus 180 on the turf, okay? Last 5 years, he's 5 for 17 with an ROI of 352. I think they were all sprints. He did have a 7.5 furlong winner in there. This is a mile. It's got fine. But there's distance races. He was all in the money. So I think this horse is going to be ready to go. Calamity Cat might get first run on Old Dominion because Claudio's got a couple of the deeper closers in here. Esport's got some races that work. Going first time off the claim for Claudio, you have to consider Imperial Brews, another horse who could get a stalking position from the inside. Tricky little race, 9's the speed. The walk, a good try over a good turf course. That 2-back number, very, very strong. And Masai Man, the 2, I know I don't have him in my top 4, but he's another one that could be part of this pace flow. I think he can get the mile, no problem. You look at the bottom side, the dam was a maiden special weight winner at Santa Anita on the grass, going wire to wire. He's got some staying power, an interesting little horse trying the turf for the first time. So wide open. I like Calamity Cat's race back last summer at Monmouth. Hugh proven with this kind of layoff. He's going to be my key, but I do fear the Claudio horse as well, Esport. I think he's going to bring a pretty solid run from the back.
All right, so yeah. It's 9-2. Good price on the 7. We both used a 10, the walk, 9-2 here on the walk. We had the video from last summer, July here at Laurel Park against 16,000. A good effort this day. Is going to finish a real good second on a good turf course this day, and then would come back after this race last October and had checked at the quarter pole that day, had a rough trip that day. But here's a good second from the walk last summer here at Laurel.
Yeah, this is a good effort. Settled in the clear, shifted out, made a steady progression up to the leaders. Just couldn't quite hold on after getting the lead with about a 16th to go. Kid Jeter, a horse that can bring some run. It might have been, was that Rubley or Reed? I can't remember. But anyhow, the walk, a game effort right there. He's positioned to kind of move up into contention from that outer post. I expect him to just try to move up and drop in, maybe be no wider than 2 or 3 wide down the backside and take a stalking position off of Old Dominion.
All right, so nice big field here. Race 5 to kick off the late pick 5. Let's turn the page. Race 6 will start the late pick 4 on the main track. 5.5 furlongs. Maiden claiming 16,000 3-year-olds. And upward, a big field here. Scratch the 8, Lucerito. We're still going to have a big field, right? Still 12 in here. Big 12-horse field. We'll have a monster handle here for race 6. I go with the 3, Balls on the Horizon. First start in the Jamie Ness barn. Trevor McCarthy will ride. Ness wants to win with this horse now. The tries last year at Keeneland, maiden special weight, one on the turf and one on the dirt. And then the one try this year, back in March down there at Gulfstream, still against maiden special weight. It was first-time Lasix, first-time blinkers. Went to the front that day, showed improved speed, got a little tired, beaten about 8 lengths. But now a big drop today. This will be first-time Lasix, first-time blinkers on the dirt today for the 3, Balls on the Horizon. I put him on top.
Another positive angle, second-time gelding. So first-time gelding on the dirt. So lots of positives there, Stan, for the 3, Balls on the Horizon. But he's looks like his trip is going to be forward, right, speed, and go to the 12 towards the outside. Fair catch. Look how quick he is. I mean, he looked long gone. 21 and 3, 45 and 2. I know that track can get quick. Down at Oaklawn Park and couldn't last, but I mean at 5.5. He figures to be around a long way. Dr. Rusty Raymond would be my top selection. Maybe he can chase and let the speed come back naturally. It's just kind of maybe run even, but go by some tired horses in the last 1/8 of a mile. We've seen that scenario before. 4th place finisher came out of that most recent race to win. Let me ask, Bob was a little cheap. But that's my angle with Dr. Rusty Raymond, and this kind of layoff, this works. Positive ROI, good percentage for Crystal Pickett.
I like your top pick. I have Dr. Rusty on my late pick 5 ticket. He'll get good play here from the Crystal Pickett barn. It was a decent third, dropping to this level back in February. All right, so I'm rooting on your top pick, Dr. Rusty Raymond, in race 6 to lead us off on the late pick 4. The big feature of the day, race 7 to start the final pick 3 of the day. It's a third-level allowance condition, optional claiming 50,000 3-year-olds, an upward 5.5 furlongs on the Exceller Turf Course rail at 70 feet. The one completed pass, your morning line favorite here for Claudio Gonzalez. Victor Carrasco will ride. Let's show you his big win at Pimlico last year in the Jim McKay Turf Sprint on Black-Eyed Susan Day. He's the 9-horse, right head-and-head for the lead, turning for home, and he wins this race, gets a big 97 Beyer speed figure.
Boy, I tell you, on the turf, he looked like a different kind of animal. Big races, some big numbers, and then just kind of went off, got into a bad habit, Stan, of braking slowly. Hopefully he's retooled and ready to go. You're going to see Tricks to Do rally up late. I tell you, I think he was tentatively ridden that day. I wasn't really, I'm a fan of the jock, don't get me wrong, but Tricks to Do that afternoon, Castellano just a little bit late to the party. I expected him to be a little bit more into it by the top of the stretch. He's another one that kind of went off for him the last 2 races, but given time, both of these horses back. The best race, if he brings his best race, I like the one. He's just got a break. You see the works in the morning. He's working great guns. Gets the inside. I think he's going to stalk the speed of American Sailor, who is very, very fast, and another one working quickly for Wayne Potts. Getting a little long in the tooth, the 8-year-old. But American Sailor, I think, set sail. He's going to keep bumping oldies but goodies. So let's go with completed pass. I think American Sailor can hang around. Jammer is another one I'm going to use underneath, as well as the 8 Love You Much. I like him sprinting. I think he can sit inside, covered up, and bring a run. Very similar running style to Jammer.
I put Jammer on top. We're going to have a very legitimate early pace with the 6 American Sailor. You're right. He is very quick. He's run a 98 Beyer speed figure at Pimlico last year, going right to the front, 55 and change that day for the 5.8. So he's very quick. Completed pass. Victor's not going to give him too much. If Victor breaks sharp and is forwardly placed on the inside, I can see Victor trying to hold his position on the inside and try to be right there turning for home. So completed pass, American Sailor, they're going to set a fast early pace. There's some others in here that have a little speed.
Oldies but goodies.
Oldies but goodies. The 4 Duncastle. Oldies but goodies is quick, so I go with the closer, Jammer. He makes things exciting in the final strides. Bobby Leaf had this Maryland bred in top form last year as a 5-year-old. 4 for 8 last year, made over 100,000. All 5 of his wins have been here on the Laurel turf. He is a major player in the final strides if he gets a fast early pace and if he's ready to go off the layoff. When he came off the layoff last year, his 5-year-old debut, didn't run very well. He had that big win second off the layoff. So I'm hoping Leaf has him ready to go first off the layoff today with the X-Man. X-Man knows this horse. He's been working well. Look at the workouts here, a minute and change, and the nice turf work May 31st. So fast early pace might set it up for Jammer, and he'll be a good 15-1 here in today's feature.
He should be. I think he's going to fall through the cracks as he's done times before. You talked about that 64-1 win. He ran a big race at a price. Going back, I think 2 years ago, we had some traffic. I think he ran second, needed him to get up that day. But I know one thing. I don't know if there's a trainer out there, Stan, faster to get to the winner's circle. If they had a dead sprint, like a 60-yard sprint or something, Bobby Leaf, he's going to win it.
He knows how to get there.
Yes,
all right,
he does.
Let's see if he can get me home here with Jammer. Jammer's going to be a big price in the feature, but the one completed pass, a real nice horse. You have that horse on top. I don't blame you. Needs to get a good trip. The 11 Tricks to Do gets McCarthy, and you mentioned maybe too far back in the turf sprint with Castellano last year. Well, McCarthy's not going to let these speedballs get too far out in front. He might get a nice stalking trip behind the early speed.
Yeah, but with enough speed in here, you're going to want them to kind of just, I guess, get a chance to draft over towards the inside. At some point, by the time they hit the turn, you don't want to be 5 wide going into that far turn. So draft in, keep a little cover, and then he's going to have to maneuver, find some room, top of the stretch. But if he's right, he will bring a solid run into this group. Certainly has the back class. It's kind of like a little stakes here on Monday, isn't it, Stan?
Sure,
this race?
Yeah.
Good job by the racing office. This was a good one.
Nice feature. Just take out the 12 Pal. That's the only scratch, right?
Yep.
All right. So 11 horse feature here in race 7, 5.5 on the Exceller with the rail at 70 feet. Let's turn the page here. Race 8 will kick off the late daily double on the main track, 6 furlongs, maiden claiming 40,000 3-year-olds and upward. A lot of first-time starters in here. I go with a few horses that have some experience. The 13, Robert Bob, has made a nice improvement since getting in the Jerry O'Dwyer barn. Maiden 25 last February. Nice little second that day, then stepped up to this level. Maiden 40 last out, and a lifetime best effort. Real good second that day, 64 buyer. That was going 7 furlongs late February. It's been working well since then. Fergal Lynch will ride. Lynch was aboard 2 starts ago. So this horse has a little early speed. Hopefully he can break sharp on the far outside. He has experience. Lynch might be able to get a real nice stalking trip here. You have the horse on top as well.
Default, just based on that experience. And boy, I wish he didn't have the 13 post, but maybe he can just circle and be good enough. Improved again since being gelded. Once he transferred in the barn, they went ahead and gelded this 3-year-old, and he's improved. Paradise Pride, 2 races back, made a good move into that one. Just was second best. Paradise Pride, Sam, we saw about a week or so ago, run big in that 3-year-old allowance race for Rodolfo Sanchez Salaman. So he's up against the right kind experience. We got a slew of first-time starters in here.
Yep. All right, so we both go with the 13, Robert Bob on top. Now, I think the 2, Hello Amigo, Rodney Jenkins got the money last weekend, or was it Saturday or Friday with Out of the Box? We're still in our second weekend, right?
Yeah.
But I think it was this weekend with Out of the Box. Rodney Jenkins got it, or last week. And it was Ellen Charles' birthday for Hillwood Stable, Out of the Box.
Out of the Park or whatever. Out of the Park,
Out of the Park.
Okay.
Won the big feature. So Rodney Jenkins barn with a win already. Ty Fustina has a long shot winner as well. This horse, Ty rode this horse 2 starts ago back in December, maiden 40, and okay, 4th that day. 64 buyer speed figure behind some tough horses. The first and third place finishers would come back to win. Galleria's come back. He's a real nice horse now for Claudio Gonzalez. So that was a decent effort 2 starts ago, and then a real big 4th at this level back in January. Been working well, 47 and change here coming into this race. So I think the 2, Hello Amigo, is going to be a factor with Laia Pustina aboard for Rodney.
We know one thing. He's got some proven early lick. He can kind of chase and stay around. So, yeah, tough to leave out underneath. I'm not going to take him on top here. So many firsters, so many different ways to go, some well-bred horses. Let's start off with the 6, right? Artistic Reason. We know who this one's skin to, right? Majestic Reason. 6 for 13, made a lot of money, $460,000, I think, when it was all said and done. A stakes winning type by Munnings. Okay, you can get a horse to run well early. You've got to respect this Grand Motion runner with McCarthy. How about the 1, Stan? This is a maiden 40, but you're protected with the waiver if you're a Maryland bred. So I'm going to, in my mind, consider this as a maiden special weight for Hammy specifically.
Right.
Okay, first-time starters on the dirt the last few years. He's 3 for 16. 7 for 16 in the money with an ROI of over $5. Looking at the breeding, the mare level with me, 2 for 12, both long, but half the hashtag Selfie, who was an 11-time winner. Boy, she's been made a lot of money around here. So he's a winner with me. Maybe an interesting little spot here. Protect move Hammy Smith, teaming up with Michael Harrison.
All right, sure.
Yeah.
No, it's going to need a break sharp from the inside. Brittany Russell has a nice first-time starter in here by Golden Lad with a bunch of nice works here at Laurel. Sheldon Russell will ride that horse. So probably take some money. You have him in the mix a little bit. Hugh McMahon with a nice Candy Ride first-time starter with Toledo aboard. It's been working well. So, yeah, a bunch of well-bred first-timers making their debut here in Race 8.
You've got the 7, what got you beat, Competitive Edge. I mean, they've done nothing but win early, right?
Sure.
Tim Keefe with a horse that's working well. A whole mix of firsters that are complete unknowns. Maybe tab the board. Hopefully some money shows and gives you a little bit of a wake-up call on those.
All right, it's a big maiden 40, big field, no scratches, right? 13-horse field. 13-horse field here, Race 8 to kick off the late daily double. Let's take a look here. Race 9, 5.5 furlongs on the Acceler rail at 70 feet, 8,000 starter allowance for filly mares 3 and up. Let's start with the 12, your top pick on the outside, Eves for Dale Capuano. We have a video of Eves. Let's check out the race from last October here at Laurel Park. A real big effort this day against Maryland Bred Allowance Company.
Yeah, broke a little bit slow and is going to go ahead and be rushed up early to get into contention. And once she does, she just kind of tracks the speed and is able to kind of go on by. Eves works for me. Claimed back in February the 8th for $16,000 in for the starter here. And I tell you, it gets command top of the stretch. Is going to dig in late to hold off another horse in here, right? It wasn't the Dancer Stroll in this race, and comes running late as well. So Eves outside, stalk, pounce kind of move. Once again, going to have to hold off the closers, and I think they're going to be Bustin' Hearts and Dancer Stroll. As you said, just ran on May the 30th. Pretty good move against a 3 other than competition, Stan. That was a pretty salty field. Back quickly. Jerry Brooks, he's won with this kind of move in the past. So 12-6-4-8 for me to wrap it up. Jack Bouncing Billy, another horse with some trouble in its lone sprint try on the turf.
Yeah, we'll get to the check bounce and Billy.
Okay.
I overlooked the 12 East. I didn't use that horse at all. He's going to have to break sharp on the outside with the bug. He might get caught a little wide around that far turn. I didn't use the 12 at all. You'll get a decent price. That filly, 5-year-old mare by Hunter's Bay, she's 4-1 morning line. I go with the 6 on top here. Dancer Stroll ran huge against 3 other than Allowance Company. That was last weekend here at Laurel Park. So this 5-year-old mare by Stroll, she's in good form. Sheldon Russell will ride today. I'll take a shot here. I pick her on top. You have her in the exactor as well.
Yeah, the only time she kind of just got beat a few lengths, she had some trouble, you're right, sprinting. So you go back on that second time off the break. I mean, third time off the break. So she's dead fit to go. Is it back a little too quick, though? That's what we don't know. She certainly works. Check Bouncing Billy. Did we have a video of that one?
Yep, we do from last April, a little over a year ago. Big effort here at Laurel Park, 5.5 on the turf.
April the 28th, you're going to see down inside. Going to have to work through some traffic. Here's another typical big field on the turf at Laurel Park. This is what you get, everybody. So, dig in and enjoy it because we're going to have some big payouts day in and day out usually when the weather, is good and we keep these races on. Look at this horse. Roll home a little left lead late, but was able to kind of maneuver through traffic, tried a couple routes after that, didn't disgrace herself. But I think she's best maybe sprinting here.
Sure. That was a tough trip there, and she ran a real big second behind Kitty's right. So I use the 4 check bouncing Billy. The 8, we both have Bustin' Hearts, McMahon, Jevion Toledo. This horse pretty good. A sharp win at Delaware last July with an 80 Beyer speed figure. That was first level allowance. This horse a 2-time winner on the turf. Probably going to get a nice trip on the outside with Toledo aboard.
Yeah, I see you've got the 11 in the mix, right? Foggy Dreams.
Foggy Dreams.
Yeah, Rodolfo is going to be a square price. She's okay. The 72 Beyer, good enough. Unikoi. Another one I think Stan is going to probably get into contention early from that outside post.
And we saw what a stone-cold runner Foggy Dreams was last year. She had a tough campaign, 17 starts. Now she's finally had a break. She's fresh and rested and ready to roll with Grace LeBaire. She'll be a big price, the 11 Foggy Dreams. But, the 2 turf tries, not bad. Maybe a little easier spot today on the turf for Foggy Dreams.
Absolutely, yeah.
Right.
Pretty wide open field all in all when you talk about this nightcap. So I was a little protective in some of these lines. I wasn't so aggressive as I like to be there because there was 4 or 5 in each race. It gave me a little difficulty to separate.
All right, well, we're trying to give them some winners. I'm trying to come up with some of those long shots. I have Jammer on top today in the feature. I could get my summer going in good order. So that's it. We're out of time. Fast and firm, beautiful conditions today. You can bet all the action on First Bet and Express Bet. Watch all the action, laurelpark.com. Dave Rodman coming up next with scratches and changes. Good luck, Keith.
Good luck.